Hello guys, and welcome to my first solo content of 2025. Still feels kind of weird saying that. So, I want to talk about a few things today. One of them is Christmas and New Year. So, Christmas and New Year for me was different. It being my first sober Christmas and New Year. New Year wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't so weird. I had a couple of close people with me, and I didn't think that it was that different. I mean, I haven't done much for New Year for a while, um, so it wasn't too big of a deal. Christmas, on the other hand, Christmas was weird. So my normal Christmas would wake up at 8, 9 o'clock, open presents, have a bit of Bucks Fizz. That part always went really fast. I mean, it was pretty much the same. That bit was pretty much the same. I do have to admit that I did have some Bucks Fizz, but it only being 3%, and my sobriety is more about me getting pissed. So I'm not counting that. You can call me a hypocrite or whatever you want, but this is my sobriety journey. I can do it how I want. I also, then after that we would go downstairs about say 11, 12 o'clock. And we're waiting for lunch. We'll have a few drinks, beers, more Bucks Fizz, all of that sort of thing. And then family would come over. This year, that felt like it went on for a long time. Not that it's not fun being around my family, because it saves time flies when you're having fun, but I think the difference being that I wasn't getting pissed. And that was different. And then in the afternoon, I went back upstairs, I played on my Switch, I watched TV, watched a couple of films, watched Doctor Who, watched Gavin and Stacey. But it felt like that day was really dragging. And I do get that that's because I wasn't pissed. And I'm not saying it was a bad day. It wasn't a bad day at all. It was quite a very nice day, actually. I had a nice Christmas. But it was just different. It was just different. And it brought me back to the fact that I used alcohol to get through those sort of things. I don't know why, because Christmas has never been bad for me. But I think I just used it as an scapegoat. I spend a lot of time on my own. Obviously, you're not texting people. You're not in communication with the outside world really, apart from in your house. So I think I got a lot in my head on those days, and that's why I turned to drink. Next year will be more interesting, but I will be a lot further in my journey at that point, because we will be going to my sister's. So it'll be different, but we'll see. We've got 18 months to get to that point. Yeah. We'll be at around 18 months at that point. So yeah, I mean, also I found out recently that my sobriety journey's been going on actually a lot longer than I thought. So I've been counting 6 months from Boxing Day, right? It actually isn't. So my sobriety journey actually started the day after Slam Dunk, which was the 26th of May 2024. For those of you that don't know, Slam Dunk's a rock festival. I wanted to use that as my last hurrah, shall we say. And I did get very drunk there. So, yeah. It's actually been 7 months, which is an incredible journey. It's not been easy all the way. I mean, it's only 2 weeks in, I slipped up and I ended up drinking myself into a stupor and nearly killing myself. But I think any journey of sobriety is going to have slip-ups, and I think the most important thing you can do is not beat yourself with those slip-ups. And allow yourself to have those, if you can, to have the not low alcohol or no alcohol options. Like Bucks Fizz, like 0% beer. It's okay. Your sobriety journey doesn't have to be this strictly regimented thing. It's how you want to do it, and it's how you can handle it. It depends on your level of your problem, obviously. And different people will do it in different ways. But it's important to remember that. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the charity. So the charity that we are supporting is PAPYRUS. And PAPYRUS is a prevention of youth suicide charity. Now, suicide is one of the biggest killers for people under the age of 35. And I think it's so important, the work that PAPYRUS does. They do classes on how to cope with things and how to cope with family members, friends, things like that. They do packs on suicide prevention for yourself and other people. They have the Hope Line, which is available 24 hours a day, even over Christmas. And they don't take a day off. They are there to help and support people through their most difficult times. Now, I'm very fortunate in that I don't have anyone in my life that has committed suicide. But there are a lot of people out there that don't. And suicide can be prevented. People don't have to kill themselves. But it's about the interventions that are taken before. And we all know how the NHS struggles. It's underfunded, it's understaffed. And the government doesn't seem to have any clear fix for it. That's why charities like PAPYRUS are so important. Because they are trying to fill that gap. And that is why I am raising money for them. That is why I am doing these walks. That is why it is important that I get these donations that I'm getting. We have £580 so far, and I'm so pleased for that. But I know we can get so much more. So yeah, please donate if you can. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about was my own mental health. It was a tough end to the year. Things weren't going according to plan with the girl I liked. She had slipped back in on her own mental health, and she was struggling with that, and she wasn't talking to me about it, and it was putting a lot of pressure on me because I wasn't seeing her. And I may not have handled it in the best way. I may have put more pressure on her, which may have caused further problems, which isn't ideal. Not what I planned to do. I didn't get the job that I wanted. I was struggling with my sobriety. There were times when I had questioned whether I should drink or not. And overall, my mental health took a little bit of a dip. I was more anxious. I was smoking more. I've managed to work my way through most of that. I'm getting back to where I should be. But it hasn't been great. Without drink though, I have to say that I do manage my own mental health better. It really was a crutch for me, and it really was. And the other things I did, they were a crutch and a way of getting through things. And actually, there's better ways of dealing with it. I've managed to cut down my therapy sessions at the end of the year to one a month, just sort of like a check-in. It's almost a little bit to hold me accountable as well. Yeah. Also, I struggled a bit with money over Christmas because Christmas is expensive. And you want to be able to treat your loved ones, but you also want to be able to enjoy yourself too. And I didn't find that balance very well. I've never been very good with money. And my mum actually has a savings account in her name for me, because then I can't get to it without asking. And it's not because I'm outright irresponsible or I need to grow up. I do. I'll admit that. Just because I'm a little bit frivolous. If I want something, I will go and get it. And it's something I've always struggled with. And it won't be... It's not wasting my money, because there are things that I really want. And if I hadn't messed up earlier in my 20s with money, I might have been in a better situation to do what I want. And people always say that, yeah, you're a banker, you should be good with money. It's not always the case. I'm good at giving people... It's like giving advice. I'm good at telling or helping other people manage their money and sort out their finances and yada yada. But my own, no. It's like you never take your own advice. So yeah, my mental health's not been great, but I'm working my way back. I'm on a positive. And it's just important to remember that you're allowed to slip. With mental health and with any journey, they're not smooth, and they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be difficult. Anything worth having is difficult, but it's worth doing. Anyway, moving away from this, 2025 is a big year. We've got to our 1,000 followers. We've got £580 donated so far. We've got a quiz coming up in January. Please let me know if you want to join that. We've got interviews coming up. I've got at least 7 or 8 people that were interested at the end of December. I am going to be getting back in touch with them and arranging these interviews. If you're interested in doing that, let me know. Also, please stop messaging me asking me to follow different pages. If you aren't following me, I'm not following them. That's not how this page works. We will follow anyone that follows us, basically. So, yeah. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great mental health day. And I will speak to you guys soon.